Hi there, I'm Christopher Dunnigan. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge mini pendant called the Henry with chamfered shade. So this is the 18-4-2-5 where the shade kind of comes down a little bit on the bottom. Let's get into a lot of the details on this. So the height of the fixture body itself is going to be the bottom of that shade to where these telescoping rods start. So you'll notice it's not inclusive of the rods. So that is going to be 9.2 inches high, 10 inches in diameter, and that's going to be the shade itself. When we add these telescoping rods, we're going to have some overall heights, so we'll go into that in a sec. So if you're familiar with Hubbardton Forge, they have a patent on this telescoping rod idea. There's a set screw right here. This is going to come with a little wrench, a hex wrench. So when you get this to where you want it to be from your ceiling down, you just tighten that little screw and it locks it right into place. You're going to have 3 different ranges to pull from. And when I mean pull that menu down right over on the right hand side of your screen where it says choose your adjustable length, and that's going to be measured from the bottom of the fixture, which is the bottom of the shade, to the ceiling itself. So you'll see there are 3 ranges there. The short is 30.7 to 39.4, standard is 37.3 to 45.5, long 46.6 to 55. If you guys want this shorter than the short, so you're going to come back to me and say, listen, 30.7 inches is just too long for our needs. We need this to be 24 inches or whatever. Just email me and say, I'm looking at the 18-4-2-5-1. We need this fixture to be X, whatever your X is, 24, 18, something like that. And I take that email that you send to me, I send it through customs at Hubbardton Forge. It comes back and I quote you out with that. Adds a little time, adds a little money. Non-returnable, but we do customs every single day because people have very specific needs. At the top of this is going to be a 5-inch, it's actually 5.25-inch round diameter canopy. It has a slope ceiling adjustable knuckle at the very top. It's right here, if you can see it right there. So you can see how this pivots right there. This is your slope ceiling. It's going to be slope ceiling adjustable to 45 degrees. It's going to be fine for a flat ceiling and anywhere in between those two. There's a bracket on the back of this which is going to allow this to go onto your standard 4-inch junction box. Great way for you to see a lot of details on this. If you are on the page for this on our website, HandmadeInVermont.com, go back to those pull-down menus, scroll down a little bit, and you're going to see a link. It's going to say click here for Installations Instructions PDF. Those are the same install instructions that are going to be in the box for this fixture. Tons of great information and drawings on there. It's going to show you how these adjustable ranges work, how the clutch system works. There's a little friction sleeve hiding in here. You know, how this is going to go onto your junction box, the lamping inside. Just a lot of great info for you. So let's talk about socket on this. This is going to be using a medium base. It's called an 826 as well. Medium base socket. It's the same one we all grew up with. It's going to take just a regular screw-in bulb, so not a big deal there. You can put in incandescent bulbs, you can put in fluorescent, though I doubt any of you will. A lot of you are going to want to use LEDs. It'll take an LED without a problem. There are all kinds of interesting LEDs out in the world. This is an Edison type, that's the shape. This is an A15, it's just a slightly shorter one. This is an A19. The inside of the shade is painted white, so I think a lot of you are probably going to go for one of these whiter LEDs so it just kind of blends in. Some of you might want to make this look kind of old-timey, so maybe you're going to go for the Edison. It's really up to you. The recommended bulb size is an A19, which is actually this size bulb. You can always go smaller. You know, you can even go to this larger one. I don't know if this is an A21. It's a little bigger, as we can see, and it might poke out the bottom a little bit. But there are all kinds of Edisons that are on the market that are smaller than this too, so it's really up to you. There's no limit when you get into LEDs of what you can put into this because they don't draw a lot of electricity, and your limits, like the 100-watt limit for the incandescent, is based on the heat generated by that incandescent bulb. So it's really up to you what you guys put in, okay? So go to town on it. Okay, so let's move into finishes because it gets a little tiny bit tricky here. So you have the fixture body, which is coming down from these telescoping rods and canopy, right? And then you have the piece that holds the shade. That is going to be in one finish. When you go back to those pull-down menus, it says choose your fixture finish. Pull that down. You're going to see all the finishes for that. And then ditto, you're going to also pull down the menu and you're going to see all the finishes for the shade itself. In addition, there's a polished nickel, which I'll talk about in a sec. So when you're on our website, HandmadeInVermont.com, over on the left-hand side, there's a Finishes Help Guide. Click on that for me. You're going to notice there's a video at the top. It's me talking to you guys about the differences in Hubbardton forged finishes, how they look on different types of forging. Scroll down to see a chart, has a bunch of finishes on it. These are some of the finishes that are going to be available on this fixture. Pull down menu always tells you what finishes are there, but this chart kind of covers everything. You'll notice some of the pictures have the letter A on them, some of the pictures have the letter B on them, and then that shows you this range and variance that's going to be talked about in the video up above. So watch that video, go back down and use that chart, and you'll learn all about how that works. When you're done, go back to the chart. You can click on any of those pictures. A bigger picture will pop up of samples of whatever you guys just clicked on. So a little thing on this guy, that shade is also available in something called polished nickel, which is a plated finish. And because in Vermont, it's like living in Switzerland here. They don't let you do anything. There's like not even a speck of dirt on the ground if you look around. The place is clean as a whistle. And because of that, they don't let you do plating here. So Hubbardton Forge doesn't do any plating, really can't do any plating in its factory here in Vermont. So that shade, that plated shade, is sent out and done out of state. And because of that, a lot of you guys are going to ask, well, before you even knew that, a lot of you guys would probably come with the question of, can I get the whole finish in that shiny nickel? And the answer is no, unfortunately, because they can't do plating here. But the shade is available, and that's going to be the same on this. There's also an Atlas and maybe a few other pieces that have that option. But you'll notice that's not really in the finishes guide. But that is an option on this as far as the shade goes, that polished nickel, which is pretty cool. So that is that on that. So moving on from there, I think we kind of covered pretty much everything. When you buy your Hubbardton Forge fixtures from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. No tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont, and we're the only dealer with 90-day returns and no restocking fees. No other dealer does that. Some bigger items do not come back. Those are generally big, giant things on pallets. We're always going to tell you about that on our website, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And then we also have a rush program. Hubbardton Forge doesn't stock anything. It generally takes about 3 to 4 weeks to get product out. That's how you get to choose all these finishes and ranges, those kind of things. We can cut that time in half. It's very inexpensive. It's just a little upcharge. It's per line item. So if you have 2 or 3 or 4 of these same Henrys that are exactly the same finish, length, all that kind of stuff, that's one line item. Super cheap. So just drop me a quick note and I can let you know how, all the details on that. Our showroom in Vermont has over 350 Hubbardton Forge fixtures spread across 2 floors. We have a What's on Display page back on our website. It's in the left-hand side of your screen. You'll see everything that's here. We have a clearance center here too, and that stuff is 75% off MSRP. It's an awesome deal. So if you guys want to come visit our showroom's open every day except Sunday from 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern. Before you guys make the trek to come up here, measure your ceilings. I want to hear this clicking sound of the measuring tape, because it's going to be the first question I ask you. Measure your ceilings, measure your counters, all that kind of stuff, and bring that data with you, especially if you're looking at clearance stuff, because that stuff was ordered specifically for those people's needs. It's discontinued stuff, showroom samples, and returns, but there's 200,000 variations here, so you want to make sure that stuff is going to work for your needs. Measuring is the best thing to do. So I think that covers everything. If you guys have any questions, let me know. You can email us at sales@HandmadeInVermont.com, and we spell out that word Vermont, or call 802-446-2400 every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Thanks for stopping in today. We'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.